Sometimes life doesn't fight back immediately. Sometimes it waits. He promised to marry her the moment his contract money was paid. She believed him. She loved him. And she carried his children. But when success finally came, he walked away, leaving her pregnant, alone, and forgotten. Years later, fate brought him back, not as a lover, but as a desperate man bidding for a contract from the very woman he once abandoned. This is her story. Her name was Kemi Adeyemi. She grew up in Ibadan, raised by a hardworking single mother who sold food by the roadside just to keep food on the table. Kemi was gentle, hopeful, the kind of woman who believed love could survive hardship. That was when she met Damilola Adebayo. Damilola, contractor moving between Lagos and Port Harcourt, chasing big deals and bigger dreams. He spoke with confidence. He promised a future filled with comfort and pride. One evening, he held her hands and said, "Once they pay me for this contract, I'll marry you immediately, I promise." Kemi believed him. She waited, she prayed, she stood by him. Then one morning, her world changed. She was pregnant. Not just pregnant. She was carrying twins. When Kemi told Damilola, his excitement didn't last. His visits reduced. His calls became short. Then, they stopped completely. Weeks later, she heard the truth. The contract money had been paid, but Damilola didn't come back to marry her. Instead, he disappeared. Kemi later found out he had moved to Abuja and married another woman. A woman he said was better suited for his new status. When she finally reached him on the phone, his words shattered her heart. "My life has changed," he said coldly. "I can't carry mistakes into my future." Then he hung up. Just like that. He abandoned her, and he abandoned their unborn children. Kemi gave birth alone in a government hospital. A boy and a girl. Bills unpaid. Tears unending. Her mother sold her last wrapper to help them leave the hospital. Life became a daily fight. There were nights when Kemi cried silently while breastfeeding, wondering how love could turn into cruelty. Neighbors judged her. Friends disappeared. Relatives whispered. But something inside her refused to break. She looked at her twins and made a decision. "I will not fail you." Kemi started small. She sold fuel to generator owners, worked as a logistics assistant in an oil servicing company in Warri. During the day, she worked. At night, she studied. She saved every naira she could. Years passed. Mistakes were made. Deals failed. But she kept going. Slowly, doors opened. Eventually, she registered her own company, Adeyemi Energy Resources. What started small grew into something powerful. By her early 40s, Kemi was no longer struggling. She owned an oil company. She was respected, feared, and successful. One rainy morning in Lagos, a major contract meeting was held. Executives filled the boardroom. Then the final bidder was announced. Adebayo Integrated Services. The man who walked in was confident, well-dressed, successful. It was Damilola. Their eyes met. Kemi recognized him instantly. He didn't recognize her at all. She was no longer the woman he left behind. She was now seated at the head of the table. Damilola smiled and began his presentation, talking about integrity, responsibility, family values. Kemi listened quietly. When he finished, Kemi spoke calmly. "Mr. Adebayo," she said, "before we proceed, I have a personal question." He nodded confidently. "Years ago, did you promise to marry a woman after receiving contract payment?" His face tightened. "Did you abandon her after she became pregnant with twins?" The room fell silent. Slowly, recognition hit him. "Kemi," he whispered. She stood. "The twins you abandoned are now grown," she said firmly, "and the company you're bidding from belongs to the woman you left behind." Damilola begged. He apologized. He blamed youth. He blamed pressure. But Kemi remained calm. "This company values responsibility," she said. "We do not partner with men who abandon their own children." The contract was denied, not out of revenge, but out of principle. That evening, Kemi went home to her twins. They laughed together. They ate together. They were whole. Damilola lost more than a contract that day. He lost the chance to correct his past. And Kemi finally understood. Sometimes success isn't about revenge. It's about standing tall when the past returns. If this story touched you, like the video, share it, and subscribe, because some lessons are too powerful to ignore.